Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. Difficult task this week. South Carolina's coming here for Roe Field. These guys are coming off a very impressive win. A very talented football team. When you look at their personnel, the one thing that was so glaring last week was the offensive line. Tremendous job controlling the line of scrimmage in so many ways. Run game, they created a new line of scrimmage, got to the second level. In the pass game, they protected the quarterback. Eric Douglas does a great job up front, the center, and just leading those guys. Tight end position, great guys, inline blockers. Bell's like a receiver out in space. Van, number 6, outstanding receiver. He's going to be a challenge for us. So when you look at their running backs, it's by committee, pick your poison kind of deal. So all those guys are great. So we got to do a great job up front and trying to control the line of scrimmage. We got to stop the run game, which is going to limit their play action pass game, which they're so effective with. So in saying all that, I take your questions.
Steve, where did you see the most? No, you lost the game, but you saw progress. Rush defense, especially. What did you like? What you saw?
Well, I thought we did a great job controlling the line of scrimmage. My gap mentality. You saw that in the first half, excuse me, where I think they had a total of 69 yards rushing. Guys took responsibility of doing their job, staying in their gaps. And it's going to be the same thing this week in order for us to win this football game. They have 3 outstanding running backs, and their running game is phenomenal. You saw that last week, both guys over 100 yards rushing. So we got to do a great job, again, maintaining our gaps, shedding, getting off blocks, all right, and making tackles.
Along that same line, but specifically at linebacker, Eli mentioned yesterday that he felt like the linebackers did a better job of getting downhill. Was that a directive from you guys, or just better execution on their part?
I think it's always a point of emphasis. So I kudos to those guys for going out executing, and you could see the difference last week of those guys playing downhill. Blaze, Chad doing a great job in trying to get the double teams off. So it's going to have to be the same thing this week. On the outside, safeties, corners, chasing the hip. Late in the game, we missed the tackle because we were late. So again, on the perimeter, these guys coming in, they do a great job with the screen game. It hurt us quite a bit last week, a couple of times. So that's something we got to clean up.
You've been kind of in a defensive back the past couple of weeks, just with some of the guys being injured. Was the Mizzou KAD over there, that was out of necessity, or was that something you thought he could actually play well there as well?
Well, KAD is one of our better players, so anytime that we can keep him on the field is a necessity for us. So he can play the nickel position. When we go different personnel, we kick him back out the corner. I thought he played a decent game. He liked to have a few plays back, particularly that long, deep ball. I thought he was in great position. Just got to finish and execute.
You mentioned the long, deep ball, some of the explosive plays that Georgia was able to have. What do you think you guys need to kind of improve in that?
Well, number one is just really, once you get in phases, just understanding and finding the flight of the ball. A couple of times right here, we got to go really up and through the arms of the receiver. We're trying to make an actual play on the ball, and that particular time we can't. So we got to play through him. The touchdown on 4th down right here, we got to get hug-ups. We had pressure, guys not hugging up, and the quarterback shouldn't have that much time to throw the ball.
I think Eli talked about after the game that that's sort of just stopping the run and then letting them beat you within the pass game. Was that something that was sort of unique to this game, or is that something you had sort of implemented before?
I don't want to say it was unique. You always try to say, let them beat us left-handed. All right, they run the ball well. They were averaging, I think, about 8 yards per rush, per carry, on 1st down. So our whole focus was trying to stop the run, and they had some success throwing the football. So you want to go in and always try to take away what they do best.
Coach, I'm wondering about Chuck Hicks. How's he been practicing since he got here, and where's the progress at in terms of small playtime?
The progress is there. Again, he's still trying to learn the system, and I like what he's doing in practice. We got to find ways to try to get him a little bit more involved in the game so he can get quality reps there. So he's learning, and he's doing a good job.
What are the kind of skill sets to you that have stood out about him?
I think, number one, he can play out in space, which in this league you have to, the way they spread you out so much and try to create that mismatch with the linebacker. So that's one of the great qualities that he has. He can play out in space, and then I also feel like he's physical.
From a defensive coordinator's perspective,
going up against that Georgia defense last week, is there anything that, from your perspective, that you sort of take notes on or learn from potentially one of the best defenses of all time?
Recruiting. Players.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.